But I want to be here because I just want to make like, you know, rip a bandit up, make a quick statement again. Because of like, you know, it's crazy about so much stuff coming out and everything. So for those who are wondering, I did know. I want everyone to go support Mint tomorrow as well because it will be her 5th year anniversary, and she's been going through a lot. I did know about that she got signed to VShojo for a while. I think like around the time she got signed, I didn't know about it, but I didn't provide too much details about like what was going on and everything. And cause you know, I just let her tell me stuff like if she wanted to, or like, you know, I try not to pry too much. So I didn't know how bad it was because I just knew like the surface level details. And Min and I were actually supposed to do something together. We had like a project together, but we pushed it back and tabled it. It was like in planning stages, not like we like made stuff for it already or everything. It was just planning stages and stuff. But we pushed it back and tabled it because she wanted to focus her energy on her debut for this year. And I was like, and then like, you know, months sort of passed and it was like, oh, aren't you supposed to debut and be VShojo? And she was like, yeah, but it got pushed back. And I didn't know reasoning. I didn't pry about it. And I was just back then I was like, oh, that's great, more time to prepare, you know. I was like, oh, that's cool, you get more time to prepare for your debut, like, yeah, because I didn't know what was going on. I was like, at least you get to have a better debut and everything, like, like, you know, in hindsight, maybe now that I know, in hindsight, also I just yeah, I was very clueless. But I did want to like address this thing because of like there were so many like rumors and stuff going around. But for those who were wondering, no, I was never approached by VShojo. I didn't realize how big the rabbit hole was, and I'm finding out so much information at the same time as you guys right now. And no VTuber company wanted me or like gave me an offer or like approached me to help me after, you know, I got fired and got thrown into being indie. And I think like a lot of people forgot that like I was basically like super taboo and radioactive and also controversial. And so yeah, no, I didn't get any offers. There was no poaching when it comes to me. So I just wanted, because I saw someone be like, oh, they must, I was like, oh, well, that would be news for me. So I just want to say that in case there's like rumors that like, wow, I can't believe VShojo approached, you know, all of these people, and I was like, no, not me. I was not involved in anything. Like, and okay, I'm sorry. It makes me feel like I'm making this about myself, but I just wanted people to know that I wasn't contacted by an agency or any agency to join them after, you know, I got fired. But like, you know, the past is the past. I mostly moved on from it, and like, you know, we gotta focus on the current and help the people that need it now. So like, it did give me like PTSD and sort of reopen some memories and trauma. So like, I guess that's why I'm like reacting like this right now. Like, I'm all over the place emotionally about it. And yeah, I know, just want you guys know, not even pre-indie was I approached, because I saw people were like, oh man, they contacted everybody. No. I feel like there were some of us that wasn't, just so you guys know, some of us, oh, I don't know if all, maybe it was just me, I don't know, but I wasn't approached pre-indie. But now I'm like finding out. I'm like, I found out like so many other people did, and you know, like that gif, like, you guys get paid, like. So like that's how I was like, wait, you guys got poached, like. Just like, so like that was me, like that was my, like, not my reaction, but I was like just thinking about that gif when I found out, like, wait, how many people did they approach like pre-indie? I was like so cute. I was like, wait, what? Like, how many people got approached? Like, but Yeah, but please support those who were affected with the VShojo collapse. Like, I know the transition period would be like very hard, especially being thrust into uncertainty and like all the projects and things you were looking forward to just, you know, disappearing and stuff. I had a few stuff in the works at that time that would never see the light of day after like, you know, countless hours and days and weeks working on them, and I even had like an injury to produce one of the things. So I understand like the grief they're going through, and it's just really sad because, you know, no one deserves to experience that, and I really hope they all find a place and are able to recover. You know, my story is done, like this is their story, and we need to focus on the now and hearing their voice and all of this. So yeah, like please support everyone. Like I said, Mint's anniversary is tomorrow, and I hear the girls that, you know, they're supposed to debut right after Mint, was the Monster Girl Jen is also doing collabs. So yeah, please support the previous talents and also the ones that, you know, came before them and the ones that were supposed to debut as well. So yeah, support all of them. They really need it during like this time. So but yeah, I assume like, you know, like so hard to talk about this. It is like, you know, when I didn't do much work the last 2 days because it just felt like deja vu. Like looking at it as I'm like looking at it in the sidelines. I mean, like, I can't believe this is sort of like, you know, another VTuber Armageddon again, and like it's just so. I really feel for them. And like, oh my gosh, when I was reading that statement about how, what's the word? I was reading like a recount of like what people were doing and stuff to pit people against each other and everything. Like that was like, oh my gosh, that felt like deja. I don't know if I can say deja vu, but like I felt that because like I think that also the reason why like you know, during that time for me, it was a lot of stuff was going on, and like I said, like, you know, nobody really wanted, like, professionally wise, no one really wanted to like touch me, you know. And also like there was a lot of false rumors and narratives being spread about me behind the scenes, and I remember someone approaching me about some of the false rumors, and I had to provide them like proof and actual like personal documents to show that it was false. And it was very crazy, like some of the malicious stuff that was like spread about me that weren't even true, that was said about me behind my back and spread around during that time. And it's why I kept to myself for so long and not really done much interacting with new people, because like, you know, who knows what people were saying behind my back and about me, and then that they like, oh, these people might secretly hate me or had this false image of me because like of all the rumors going around at that time. And I already had really bad trust issues, so at a point I was very like, you know, fucking paranoid. I was like super paranoid at that time. I was like, oh, I can't trust anyone. So like I'm super thankful that to the people that still want to do things with me and interact with me and never like believed in the false rumors. And that's why I'm really happy to see like such a big community there supporting all these girls. And one guy sorry, I saw like Kuro's tweets like, I'm the first and last VShojo male that they've ever hired, but supporting all those girls plus one guy. And yeah, and then like, you know, having people approach me to hear my story after being told, even like there's like moments where they were like told to not interact with Doki, like don't interact with her, because like these false narratives that are spread about me, and then like, you know, they were willing to listen to like my side of the story, and then, you know, when they approached me about it, I usually provided proof that like, the rumors were false, you know. And then like at one point though, the brainworm started attacking, and I was like, I won't say like it was not resentful, but I felt like super worthless for like not being good enough to even be considered or like helped or like, you know, even followed on Twitter. Like I was very jealous at that time. It was like definitely hard since I had to like build my own thing up for a year, and there's a lot of like, you know, setbacks and how messy everything was, like, you know, merch, and I made a lot of mistakes trying to build my own thing. And it was very hard because at first when I started trying to rebuild everything, like it was just me and like a very small like maybe like 1 to 2 people, like, you know, 2 to 3 people helping me try to build everything from the ground up. I didn't have like, you know, a lot of help back then starting it, but then like it got better and better like as things go on. And, you know, we're finally, you know, almost in the clear and I can sort of see the light now. But for those who are like, oh, just go indie, it's very hard. When you have like the structure, and safety, the safety net of like a company, and then you transition to indie, it's incredibly hard to do something like that. It's a huge jump, especially when you have to do stuff from the ground up. And it's like, it depends on what kind of indie you want to be. Like obviously like corpo VTubers, they have a lot more, like it's not just streaming, there's a lot more things going into it. You know, there's like events, merchandising, sponsors, branding, everything like that. And to try and replicate that as an indie is very difficult. Like trying to sell yourself by yourself, especially as an individual, you're not selling like a brand image, because like that's the thing, when you're in a company, you're selling like a group of people. But now that you're an individual, you have to sell yourself. So you have to be like, no, pick me. Even though I'm an individual, you should pick me. And that's very hard to do. It's incredibly hard. That's why I'll tell you this now, I've been more busy as an indie than I've ever been as when I was in a company. And even then, this is why you don't see much events from me these days, because I've been doing more so behind the scenes work than I have been focused. Because, okay, the reason why I had so many events back then was because I was so fucking bored. Like, I had no other things to do. You know, I wasn't getting like, you know, I wasn't really getting sponsors or like, you know, stuff I should do for the company. At that time, everything I did back then was like stuff I want, like I had nothing to do. Like, so then I did these events because I was like, I wouldn't say bored. Okay, maybe bored is the wrong word to pick, but like there was just like nothing, like I could just stream or I could do something, you know, do something worthwhile instead of just like coasting and stuff. I just had, yeah, I had a very open schedule. Yeah. So yeah, I had a lot of ambition too. But now that I am in indie, there's so many other things I have to do behind the scenes, which prevents me from actually doing organizing events and stuff, because like there's, you know, I need to market myself, where I have to market myself and stuff like that. So for this, you're like, oh, just start it. It's just, you know, start a company, or like indie's not that bad. Oh my gosh, it's so hard. It's but to be fair, it depends on what kind of streamer you want to be. And for me, in terms of like what I want to be as a streamer, I have a lot of ambition and I have a lot of like ideas and things I really want to do, because I don't want to just stream. I want to like do more than that. I have a lot of like crazy ideas I want to put forth. And that's why like for me, I'm always busy almost every day because of it. Like I have like a huge list of tasks I have to follow and everything, and like a lot of things to reply to and stuff like that. So like you have to be a workaholic to really like do the stuff I'm currently doing. Just because you know, like I just like doing all these things because I guess I have a lot of ambition and things. So it's very understandable why people want to choose the corporate route, because being by yourself is just a whole different step into like, it's just a lot. It is really a lot. And even then, like I've cried several times before about how much work I had to do to like throughout this journey and everything. And that's why like I really feel for these girls, because like they never, you know, they never anticipated this. Sorry, girls plus one guy. I'm sorry, girl. Yeah, it's a lot of networking too, because you know the company can help you do the networking, but but then you have to do your own networking now. But yeah, so the one guide. But yeah, like I said, like for these girls, you know, they're like basically being thrust into being indie again, and that's a big, what's the word? That's like a huge. They were not expecting this out of nowhere. Like not, I mean, I don't want to say out of nowhere. They just, you know, I felt like maybe they didn't have a lot of time to just be thrust into that. It was such a huge shock and everything. Yeah, the blind side of all that. Yeah, so I understand. So that's why I would love if everybody showed them lots of love and appreciation, and you know, give them the support to adjust to being an indie, or like transition. Maybe they'll be able to, you know, transition to another company, or transition into being a indie and everything. So yeah, I just want to make that statement, because like it did open like a lot of like PTSD about that, so I really feel for everybody that's going through this right now. And oh my gosh, sorry, I'm making this too much about like myself and stuff, but it's just like based off like my own experiences, I could like sort of feel for them a lot. So yeah, support them. Check out Mint's anniversary stream tomorrow. Donate to the Immune Deficiency Foundation, the Tiltify for that. Check out the girls. Apparently they're doing a collab, What Could Have Been. Yeah, I empathize with them a lot. So I do hope that the girls that did get in won't stop dreaming. And you know, I hope they make it. I hope they find, you know, the audience through this, be able to find a bigger audience and a bigger support community and everything. Yeah, the charity reached $1 million. That's actually like double of what, like, you know, what the initial goal, like, I mean, the initial goal was like $10,000, but you know what I mean, it was double of what was stolen. So so yeah, huge congratulations to everybody. And I hope that you know, everybody lands on their feet, and everyone is able to achieve what they want to achieve in the future without needing VShojo and everything. But yeah, that's like, I just wanted to make this extra statement. Well, my original intent was to be like, no, I was never approached, because it was so weird seeing that around. I don't know, I just don't like false narratives about me going around, so I just wanted to like be very clear about that, because like, wow, like Doki, I can't believe Doki was also like approached to be like, they tried to poach Doki too, because they recruited Mint, so they must have been trying to poach Doki. So I was like, no, like if anything, I got 0 offers from anyone. Like, it was very rough down there when I got fired. Like, I really did appreciate like all the I really appreciate that that like a lot of companies, not VTuber not agencies or VTuber companies, but like, you know, like companies like, you know, Hyatt, GamerSubs, and you know, U2s, Nendroid, they were willing to work with me as an individual, as well. Like they extended their hand. They're like, we don't care about what's going on with you right now. Like we want to, you know, work with you, and I really appreciate that. So I hope that all the other girls are able to have like similar experiences as well with working with, like, not needing a company to work with these brands, because I always thought that I needed a company to work with these brands, but obviously like now I know like you don't need a company for that. You can get these brands yourself without needing a corporate backing. It is a lot harder though, because, you know, you can't use a company lawyer, you have to use your own lawyer, and even then, like, you know, lawyers are expensive and stuff like that. So that's like some of the biggest challenges that, like, in terms of like finding the right lawyer to look through contracts and stuff, because I made some mistakes in my first few initial contracts. And from my own experience, I did make a few like mistakes for my initial contracts just because I didn't like read it fully and stuff. I didn't like read it fully. I was just like, sign. You know, but like now, you know, I have more experience with it. I actually, okay, the first few contracts I signed, I didn't have a lawyer read it, so because I was just so happy, you know. I got like offers and everything. I was just like, yay, sign my name. So like I said, I learned all of this the hard way, but like obviously the more I learn, the more like the more I have a lawyer looking through all my contracts now, like. They want me. You don't understand. Like, I just desperately wanted to be neat. You don't understand. Back then, I just wanted someone to want me. I had nothing. Like, if you guys remember before then, in the before times, like, I barely got anything. So I mean, I won't say I barely got anything, but like in comparison, I felt like I was like not like I was just like I felt like I had to try so hard to get one thing back then. And so like to even get like just one thing, I felt like I had to try so hard. So then, like, you know, when I got fired, I was like, oh my god. Like, I was like, you want me? Like, I was like, oh my god, you want me to advertise your product? Holy shit. Like, I was just like, wow. But yeah, I do hope like all the girls plus one guy, I'm sorry, I shouldn't keep doing that jerk. It's just too easy. Be able to, you know, get on their feet and recover. And they have so much support right now, but I hope that everyone is able to get all the support and love that they need at the moment. So yeah, check all the girls out, plus girl, and you know, support them during the transition. And your friend Steve, Steve. Yeah, anyway, that's the statement I wanted to make. Sorry, blah. I don't want people to think I'm making it about me. I'm sorry. Yeah, it gave me like a lot. Like I said, it gave me like when like all this like unfolded, I was just, it opened like some wounds for myself, because like not wounds, like trauma from what happened to me too. So it just felt like, so I'm like so emotional about all of this, like the PTSD and everything. So like, but my story is done. It's done. We closed the book on that. Yeah, like, yeah, it's the flashbacks. Yeah.